Where do you want me? I'm holding on for dear life. My generous host, Aubrey Smith, is taking me to my Papa Dode's claim, Sweetheart. This is the moment. I'm on the last leg to fulfill a dream, following in the footsteps of a grandfather, Papa Dode, that I never knew, a father that my Uncle Clarence and mother only remembered through stories. My trip has been blessed. Stories from Mom and Uncle Clarence, advice from Uncle Bertie and Aunt Joan, support from Guyanese friends, Jerry, Richard, Kenny, Patcar, Alan, people like Captain Chiney, Raymond, and Aubrey Smith watching out for me here in the goldfields. Taken by emotion as I stood at Sweetheart. I am a grandfather seeking to know my grandfather. I felt my ancestors supporting me on my quest. Granny Lucia, Papa Dode, my Uncle Rudy, my dad, people who knew this land. As the song says, we rise again in the faces of our children. The forest is alive and ever-changing, but there are old trees that stood here over 80 years ago when Papa Dode passed by. If only the trees could talk.
Yeah, these are the pits you were speaking about. This is Sweetheart. This place, this is Sweetheart that we know. This is the only pits that when we come here, there was very old pits. Exactly, you say your grandfather walk here, find Sweetheart. These were the pits. They had a series of pits going all the way, a good distance, maybe about 300 feet in length. Different pits, different size, 30 feet, 40 feet, going along in the middle of this hill. And the only person that walk here, as I tell you, is Marlon, a boy by the name of Marlon Watley. He died now. He walked here to 45 feet, straight down, and he leave the rock there very big. It's showing very good. Very good, it's showing. We are coming here to excavate it soon, to use the excavator, bail it out and get back to where he was. And the pit was extended up to the cashew tree. That is your grandfather pit, or a series of men, and it goes, it ends. You want to go up a little more?
No, sorry.
I know, yeah. So this is where your grandfather walked. This is Sweetheart. And it doesn't include the entire area. This part is Sweetheart. All where the houses, all where Jerry is walking is Sweetheart area.
This trip has been blessed by many things for me to come here, and I can't but help to think that my grandfather's looking down, helping me a little bit along the way here.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yes.
you're always alive as long as somebody remembers you, calls your name. You know, after you're gone, your grandchildren or your great
That's true. That's true.
will talk about you. You know, like we talk about our dad or our grandfather. And so,
Correct.
So.
Yes. So this is where he walked.
Well,
And you tell me it's when 1930 what?
1932, he found it because that's the year my mom was born, and he found it when she was born, and he said she was his lucky girl.
Oh, okay, okay. Yes, so this is it. Okay, you want to go and see the suction bridge up here?
Sure.
Okay.
Since we're here.